What's going on, guys? Welcome to another one of Black Iron's battles. Today we've got some Total War Warhammer 2 action, and we've got 2 versus 2. I'm teamed up with ProfPwn, and we are out here roaming the streets. We're looking for fights, and we are facing off against the Dark Elves using the Tomb Kings. So right off the bat, you'll see here we've got some pretty cool stuff going on. We do have 2 groups of Ushabti Great Bows, as well as 2 groups of Chosen of the Gods, and we've got, and this is my lord here. I'm using High Queen Khalida. So you can see here, we haven't got too much. I mean, we do have Tomb Strike, we've got My Will Be Done, but we've also got the Blessing of Asaph there, so we do have that extra reload skill, armor piercing, all sorts of stuff. We've got, we kept Curse, and she's there up on her, giant asp mount, or I'm not sure if it's a cobra maybe. Either way, we've got that right there in the middle. We've also got over here Grand Hierophant Khatep, DJ Khatep himself up on his DJ booth, and you can see him getting jiggy with it. He's got all those nasty tomb beetles flying around him on that pile of skulls, and he's ready. So you see here, he does have Sandstorm. He's got Arcane Conduit. He's got Incantation of Skullstorm. So he's definitely over here with a bunch of stuff to do damage. You can see all types of incantations, and ProfPwn has just brought the works. Put together with Guardian, because he does have that Tomb Prince behind him, and the Tomb Prince also has everything. He's got his Curse of Jaff, he's got Guardian, he's everything he needs, and so this Tomb Prince will keep Khatep alive forever. He does also have anti-large, which if anything comes in the back, that'll be helpful. You can see here that ProfPwn has King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion. He's got a bunch of Tomb Guard up here, so 5 Tomb Guard right across the front line. And of course, and we didn't really talk about this, but I've also got Tomb Guard. So I've got 3 Skeleton Spearmen. In the back here, I've got 2 Tomb Guard. I've also got the Kepler Guard, and I've got the Blessed Legion of Foth here as well. Here on the right, we do have a Kemrian War Sphinx, and you see I've tossed a bunch of chevrons into him, so he is pretty expensive, but it got his melee defense all the way up to 50. He's only got 95 armor, so he's not like that much of a tank, but he should be able to last pretty long with that high melee defense. Here, hiding in the trees, we do have a Lich Priest of Death, and we've just got him up there on top of a Skeleton Steed. You see he's just got Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna. Nothing too crazy or exciting, but I definitely wanted to be able to do something against those those cavalry, elite cavalry units, if they had some of those some of those new regiments of renown. But this time I don't think they did. So either way, ProfPwn also has 2 Tomb Scorpions, and these guys are hiding here in the trees. Those guys will do some good damage, so they should be rampaging through our opponent's troops. We are up against the Dark Elves here, and you can see that they do have a couple of Reaper bolt throwers, so we will have to move up. We won't be able to just hang out, because we will take good damage. Armor piercing missiles, so they will start to cut through some different units. I mean, especially I think they don't do great against Ushabti, but they can kill Ushabti. Here in the back, you can see there's some Hargoneth Executioners. In the front, we've got the Black Guard of Nagaron, those elite armor-piercing anti-large spear troops. You see we've got 3 groups of Darkshards here. We've also got a couple of Bleak Swords and Black Guard Corsairs over here. So this is just the works. I mean, he's got all sorts of weak infantry here in the front. You can see there's the Hellbroni there, the Dread Spears with everyone's got anti-large, everyone's shielded. These guys have extra charge defense and poison, but these Dread Spears, then backed up with the Corsairs and Bleak Swords. I mean, this is just what we've been facing. A ton of wide armies. If you look here, 2,100 troops our opponent has. So that is just a ton of troops. Here in the back, Supreme Sorceress of Fire on top of that steed there, the Cold One mount. And you can see there she's got a good number of Piercing Bolts of Burning, Flame Storm, so a bunch of those fire spells, Cascading Cloak of Fire, and Kindle Flame, just to do some major damage to everything. And there's going to be some Murderous Prowess, of course, on both of those Dark Elf squad. So here in the back, you can see there's some Dark Riders with shields. There's 4 groups, 2 on each side. And up in the air here, you can see we've got Morathi herself, and she does have a good number of spells as well. You can see there we've got Enchanting Beauty, Power of Darkness, we've got Soul Stealer. So that one's the key. That's the one that keeps you alive and does a ton of damage to clumped up units. I love Soul Stealer. I mean, if there's one of my favorite spells, that is it. Here in the front, a bunch more Dread Spheres. So that's just Dread Spheres across the board. And also the Hellbroni and Black Orc Corsairs. We've also got more Darkshards. So that's a ton of armor-piercing missile damage. I mean, that is what, like 7, I think, Darkshards? Yeah, that is. So that is going to be a lot of armor-piercing. Luckily, we don't have too many of these of these constructs. But, you know, we should be able to do pretty good damage to them with some of these Ushabti Great Bows or Chosen of the Gods. In the back, Witch Elves and Sisters of Slaughter. So these Sisters of Slaughter will do some really good damage. He's also got another Sorceress of Fire. And this Sorceress of Fire only has, I think, Burning Skull there. So it'll be just casting the Burning Head. At 10, that's not too bad. So probably a bunch of casts that'll get off, at least 2 or 3. And let's go ahead and get this started. So this is a great game for me and Professor Pwn. We're having a really fun time. And right off the bat, we're just going to, you see, he's just going to start launching with Khatep. And you see there, we're going to take some shots deep into the back here. And we're also going to start firing with all of these Ushabti Great Bows. So you see, we're just going to move them up. And that's actually got a pretty good AoE range on High Queen Khalida's effects. Yeah, but I will move her up here a little bit just to get in the middle. And if you take a look at the top, you're going to see that we're starting to take some shots at these Dark Riders with shields. You see there, Khatep taking some shots. Dark Riders with shields getting hit. And we are taking hits from those Reaper Bolt Throwers, as I thought. You see them landing on, but they're not doing as much damage as I had thought. Here in the back, I do have the Chosen of the Gods, and you see they are firing at the Sisters of Slaughter. The Sisters of Slaughter are taking some pretty good damage, and those scatter shots just blasting in there. And we're also just continuing to shoot in at those whichever Dark Riders we can aim at this point, trying to get some good damage. But over here on the right, we are going to engage. So we're going to start moving up all of these Skeleton Spearmen. You see here that we do have the Kemerian War Sphinx. We're going to send him into the back. And we're going to have to retreat all of those. So let's go ahead and slow that down for 1 second. So you can see here, they're coming right here in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and retreat all of our Ushabti Great Bows right here. And then we're going to move up all of our backline troops here into this hole. So we're going to use High Queen Khalida for now to hold this line up here. And then we should be able to do major damage to these guys once we've got them trapped here in the middle. And we slam into them with these Tomb Guard. Up here in the front, we are holding the Dread Spears and everything in line. That'll be a pretty even trade against the Skeleton Spearmen, so not too bad. But if you look, the balance of power is already a little bit in our favor. We've killed a good number of troops there, almost 100 troops. We've done some pretty good damage with our Ushabti Great Bows. Over here on the left, the opponent who's facing off here against Professor Pwn has not managed to get engaged yet, but you see we have actually routed off one group of the Dark Riders over there. And if you see here, these Tomb Scorpions are still hiding in the forest. So those guys are going to be a bit of a trap when they finally do come in here. You can see there that those Tomb Guard are approaching. We do have those Carrion. Oh, I forgot to mention that I do have Carrion, and they're going to be coming in. And I want to get them right on top of those Reaper Bolt Throwers. I was going to go ahead and get them on top of the Darkshards, but you saw here those Dark Riders are right in there. And we are going to be... Oh, man. In comes DJ Khatep. Nasty, nasty spells. I mean, also, you see there we got Burning Head coming across. There's just everything going in that Skullstorm. But at the same time, all of those units are just crushed in our trap. These Tomb Guard are still holding strong. You see here we've got High Queen Khalida, who is engaged up against this Sorceress of Fire. And the Sorceress of Fire right now has 0 armor. So 0 armor. She's lost all of it due to that Blessed Legion of Fok. You see there, Khalida is coming in from the back, just doing some nasty damage. Only 600 health remaining, and she's going to shatter. And then Khalida, I think, is just one more hit. That's it for that Sorceress of Fire. So we are starting to pick them off. Here you can see that Sisters of Slaughter, we did hit them with the Fate of Buna, and as well as all the damage from those Ushabti Great Bows. They went down pretty quickly, and now we've got these Tomb Guard mixed in with the Skeleton Spearmen, and they're going to cut through these Witch Elves. Most of the Dread Spears are gone. You can see here we've got that Lich Priest of Death here. He's just in fighting, and I'm just using him to cause extra damage, remove the leadership from those Dread Spears. Here in the back, you can see all of our Ushabti Great Bows are online, and let's go ahead and take a look over here at the left at kind of what's going on with Professor Pwn. So you can see here, he does have both of these Tomb Scorpions finally engaged. They're getting in deep. Look at them. They're right on top. But these Harganeth Executioners are going to come in and get on top of them. So they were waiting in the background. So you can see here, these Dark Shards are getting hit. But if these Harganeth Executioners can separate these Tomb Scorpions, the Armor Piercing will come in and tear them to pieces. Here you can see that those Blackguard and Nagron are going to chase the other Tomb Scorpion. But in the back, we have managed to take off one of the Reaper Bolt Throwers, and the other one is being attacked by the remaining Carrion now. Although we did lose some of the Carrion to the Harganeth Executioners back here, with those cheap Carrion, we were able to take off one of the Reaper Bolt Throwers, as well as drag that expensive group of Executioners all the way to the back there. So if we can get the second one offline, I mean, that is definitely worth it for us. Here in the back, you can see we've got these Blessed Legion are still firing away. Right now, they're taking shots at this group of Witch Elves, and they're almost out of ammo. They've been doing some really good damage the entire time, especially helping out with that armor piercing. But it is really just these Chosen of the Gods, two of them grouped up. You can see we've still got High Queen Khalida in there, providing her her buffs, and she is now on top of Morathi. Morathi is going to go down next. You can see there's a couple of those Kepra Guard, or actually just regular Tomb Guard. But we also have the Tomb Prince in here. Morathi is down 600, but she gets off into the air, and we are not going to be able to kill her yet with High Queen Khalida, but she is going to get engaged. These Dark Riders are immediately going to break off, and this is generally, I mean, if we take a look here, if we just slow it down for a second, this is our stronghold here. We're still doing well. We've still got a good amount of ammo on these regular Ushabti Great Bows, whereas the Chosen of the Gods are pretty much out, but they're not bad in melee. But you can see over here on the right, the Dark Elf player over there has really lost it. You can see Morathi is on her way off. We've held strong, although our Skeleton Spearmen and our Tomb Guard don't have much remaining. The Kepra Guard are still just healthy as can be. You know, they've got that regeneration. Our Lich Priest is in here, 46 kills on him, which is actually pretty good for a Lich Priest. And over here on the left, you can see this group of Dark Riders coming off. High Queen Khalida just continually providing her buff to these ranged units. And, you know, we're just doing all right. But the problem is, over here on the left, this Tomb Scorpion was completely surrounded, was starting to be taken down. So I went ahead and summoned my Ushabti over here. You saw there, we hit that level 3 Realm of Souls. And they're going to get in here, cut these Dark Shards. You see that immediately, those Dark Shards are just broken off. You can see this group of Harganeth Executioners is also going to get cut down. So now these summoned Ushabti are already up to 34 kills. They are going to allow this Tomb Scorpion to get free, and he's going to go rampaging again. And just continue to do damage. This Tomb Scorpion over here is being caught up by some Harganeth Executioners as well, and they'll cut him down pretty quickly, but not before, you know, these Tomb Guard get on top of the Reaper Bolt Throwers, and we're just continually shutting down their weapons. I think we've pretty much overwhelmed the right flank over here. You can see here those Chosen of the Gods charging right in the back and just using those bows as clubs and just damaging those Black Orc Corsairs. They'll cut them up pretty easily. There are some healthy Dread Spears. High Queen Khalida's in here doing some damage. And, you know, it's not too bad for us. We've still got a few, you see a few more arrows flying in there. The last shots from the Blessed Legion. And we're going to rout off a few more of those Dread Spears. And here we go. You see that? We toss an Enchanted Spirit Leech. Morathi just falls down out of the sky. And that'll pretty much rout off the rest of this Dark Elf on the right here. That is going to be it. Just glorious, glorious battle. I hope you guys caught everything there. I mean, it was just so much going on. I was having a great time getting these games in with ProfPwn. I don't know if you guys know, he does have a channel up now, so check him out if you guys haven't already. And it was just a great game. We got a good couple in with CK, Zinder, and Latin Knight. All sorts of stuff. Fun to be had. And let's just take a look at this post-game wrap-up. So you see here, ProfPwn, 228 on Khatep. He was just blasting those spells off. Sandstorm and or Skullstorm, I think, and just massive damage being caused by Khatep, especially with the DJ boot there as well. And the Tomb Prince just keeping him alive. He was getting in there. He was fighting, whoever managed to drop in, doing awesome. And just overall, those 5 Tomb Guard were able just to hold strong. And you saw how wide our opponents went with those front lines, but they were not able to cut through those Tomb Guard with these weak troops. So those tier 1 frontline troops were, fighting against Tomb Guard with all of the Realm of Souls popping off. We kept getting our heals back. You saw we were able to keep the Ushabti Great Bows firing the entire battle. We were able to use them to take those Dark Riders out really quickly. You see none of the Dark Riders really doing much at all. The Darkshards as well, just getting hammered by the Tomb Scorpions as well as the Chosen of the Gods. And it was just a great time. So they weren't able to really get the units where they needed them. So they had those BlackIron and Agaron who were able to really take down that Tomb Scorpion. However, we were able to cut them off. We were able to stop the Reaper Bolt Throwers. We were able to take out the Darkshards pretty easily using our Ushabti Great Bows and our different units we had. If we take a look here at mine, you see 63 on Khalida, and that's good because I didn't bring any AoE attack, so she was just killing units all on her own. You see there we've got that Lich Priest with 47, and just overall, I mean, even those carrying in the back were able to distract a whole unit of Hargneth Executioners and just allow these Chosen of the Gods and the Ushabti to benefit from that AoE buff of High Queen Khalida and just do massive damage. I really didn't get to show you a lot of what the Khemri War Sphinx did. So what I kind of did is he was sent into the back, and there was just a lot of shooting at him. So I think that's why you see here there's not a lot of kills on some of these Darkshards and stuff. They spent a long time shooting at that Khemri War Sphinx. A lot of units surrounded him and took him down. But at the end of the day, he was able to tank a good amount of health, and he was able to allow the rest of our units here to kind of continue to do battle and stay alive. For our opponents, you can see, I mean, like I said, they were trying to use the Darkshards to take down some of these bigger units. They didn't get a lot of kills with them, and our frontline units, Kepler Guard and Tomb Guard on both of our sides, they were able to cut down those frontline units. So you see there wasn't a lot of kills on those weaker units. The Witch Elves themselves, this group got 164, so they must have gotten into some of my skeletons there. And you saw, I mean, these Dread Spheres didn't even kill a lot of skeletons. So, I mean, it was really only the Witch Elves that got in there and got a bunch of kills. These Slisters of Slaughter as well, even if we used Fate of Buna, we've also, we targeted them with the Chosen of the Gods. They were still able to get 92 kills. Very strong units, but it was really just we were able to take out Marathi. We were able to take out their Sorceress of Fire, their Supreme Sorceress of Fire pretty easily. And in the end, without your leadership and without being able to use these front troops to cut through, I mean, if we had went with a lot of skeleton or something and a ton of constructs, I think it would have been a little bit better. But I think that our ranged units saved the day. So either way, great game to my opponents. I want to thank you guys all so much for putting up with these delays. I mean, I've got all sorts of stuff going on with my family. I guess I can tell you guys if you made it to the end of the video, you guys are probably the true fans. But my mother, she's had cancer for a while now, and it has metastasized, so there's not much we can do at this point. So we're just trying to make her comfortable, and it's with the house going and everything else going on, it's just a real lot. But I want to thank you guys all so much for watching, for supporting me, leaving those comments. I'm trying to get some good games in for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy when I do get a chance to put up a video, and we got more content coming for you guys soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe for more great online content, and this has been another one of BlackIron's Battles.